Today in the Daily Dose, 3 Mile Island. On March 16, 1979, just 12 days before disaster struck at 3 Mile Island, the blockbuster movie China Syndrome hit American theaters, casting a terrifying glow on the nuclear power industry, which had grown exponentially since the 1973 oil embargo forced a nation to embrace alternative energy sources. Built atop an island on the Susquehanna River, some 10 miles from Pennsylvania's state capital at Harrisburg, at 4 a.m. on March 28th, a pressure valve in the Unit 2 reactor at 3 Mile Island jammed in the open position, spilling radioactive cooling water into adjoining buildings. Emergency cooling pumps immediately kicked into action. However, trained employees of the Metropolitan Edison Company misread the situation, shutting off the emergency coolant system, which in turn heated the uranium core to over 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit, just 1,000 degrees short of a full reactor meltdown. News of the impending disaster went public by 8 a.m., despite MedEd's PR campaign of obfuscation, which combined with a media feeding frenzy that sent local residents into a state of mass panic and hysteria. 12 hours later, MedEd nuclear engineers came to grips with their mistake, restarting the cooling pumps, which dropped core temperatures with less than an hour to spare before a complete meltdown became a reality. 2 days later, a bubble of highly flammable hydrogen gas formed in the No. 2 reactor, leading Governor Dick Thornburgh to issue an evacuation order of some 140,000 residents living near the crippled reactor. With nerves at a breaking point, President Jimmy Carter, a trained nuclear engineer who had helped dismantle a damaged Canadian reactor while serving in the U.S. Navy, arrived on site to calm the runaway fears of distressed locals and the American public at large. After the hydrogen bubble was safely bled from the reactor, it was determined by federal authorities that while plant workers had been exposed to unhealthy levels of radiation, no one outside of the 3 Mile Island complex had been exposed. Once stabilized, a robotic camera was dropped into the core, revealing a complete meltdown of some 50% of the reactor's uranium fuel rods. The accident galvanized anti-nuclear activists throughout the United States, effectively ending all growth in a once promising industry. As of 2021, no additional nuclear power plants have been built in the United States since the accident, making 3 Mile Island a major turning point in a nation's thirst for clean energy. And there you have it, 3 Mile Island, today on the Daily Dose. Get your nerd on with the Daily Dose. And if you enjoyed today's episode, share the link with a friend or colleague so that they too can learn something new every day.